Hey, how's it going? If you're new here, my name is Jan and I love makeup. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. Today is Valentine's Day when this video is going up. So happy Valentine's Day to you if you're feeling positive about it. And if you're not, then just, happy Wednesday. I decided it seemed appropriate to use the Nomad Verona Love and Death palette for today's look. Let me see if I can get this held up so you can see it. So I know this isn't the first time you're seeing this palette. I have several videos on my channel underneath my Nomad playlist. If you are looking for some more inspo for this palette, it is on sale for 24% off. I think the sale ends maybe today-ish. I'm not 100% certain. If I were a better YouTuber, I would have looked. Anyway, I decided this was the palette for me for today. And Jackson's home with me today. He's having a mental health day. Everything's fine. He's good to go. But in my family, sometimes you just need to stay home, and we call it a mental health day. So I have done, like I said, several looks with this palette, and I wasn't sure what to do. I checked my YouTube channel for the looks that I'd done, and I liked them all. But I didn't want to repeat, you know what I mean? So I asked Jackson if he were going to put together an eye look for me, what 5 shades would he choose? And so let me tell you which ones he picked. From the love side, he chose Rose and Comedy, which sounds amazing to me. Rose is one of my favorite shades in this palette. Tomb, Death, and Poison. And then on the Death side, he chose Tomb, Death, and Poison. So those are my 5 eyeshadows that I'm going to play with. Hopefully you're into that. If you are and you're not subscribed already, you can do that now. You know all the things. I super appreciate it if you do. Also, I don't know, lately I've been hearing YouTubers say if you could stay to the end of the video, that helps a lot. And I do know that watching a video through to the end is really good for the algorithm. I never nope out of the video when I'm watching one of my faves, or anybody really. Even if I kind of lose interest, I'll just, I don't know, unload the dishwasher or something while it finishes out. So yeah, if you didn't know that and you want to support me in that way, you totally can. No pressure, of course. This is not what this is about. This is about us having a good time. So I'm gonna stop yammering, put on some shadow shields. Obviously my face is done. So fingers crossed I don't make a giant mess, and I'll scoot you in and we'll just start playing eyeshadows. All right, here we go. I think I'm going to start with Death on this Refer 15. It's just a fluffy blending brush, and that's going to go through my transition area. I have an idea of what I'm going to do with these eyeshadows, but you never know. Generally speaking, when I'm doing my makeup, I don't usually have a plan. I just do whatever strikes my fancy in the moment. I also do that when I'm picking out what face products I'm going to use that day. I don't have like a standard go-to face that I pick. Every single time I do my makeup, I go through my drawers and pick and choose foundation, concealer, bronzer, contour, highlight, blush, all the things based on how I'm feeling. So that's why you never see like shop my stash videos here, because I shop my stash every time I do my makeup. All right, so that is Tomb. I think we're gonna go with Rose next. And that's gonna go just below and on the outer portion of my eye. I've never combined, well, I haven't combined these 2 shades in this way. In fact, I don't think I've used any of the shadows that we picked out today in this way. Again, I wanted to do something different. Still, you know, Valentine's-y if you're looking for some inspiration for creating an eyeshadow look, but different than what I've been doing. I've tried to create several Valentine's-ish looks just in case you were thinking you wanted to do something specifically Valentine's. Just yesterday, my Throwback Thursday was definitely a fall inspired, you know, color story. So I'm very comfortable wearing whatever, whenever, but not everyone is. So I've tried to mix it up a bit. I'm gonna go back in with Tomb on the first brush and just go over the edge. These have blended perfectly. I'm not even sure I needed to do that. That looks so nice. Okay, I think I'm gonna take my Rephr number 12, which is like a stubby, firm pencil brush, but like bigger, with the shade Poison. And that's gonna go out here. Yeah. And then I'm going to blend it out, and then I probably will put some Death in that area as well for some depth. I think this is going to be a really nice look when we're done. Might have to have Jackie Boy pick out my eyeshadows more often. Usually Dallas helps, but not today. I just went back in for a little bit more of Poison. I want it to be obviously blue, which is going to turn a little bit purpley mixed with the pink. What a fun combination. I'm really liking this. I, of course, primed my eyes with the Sigma primer pencil thing. I went in with the Sigma eye pencil like I normally do under my brow, and then the Milani on the rest of my eye up to my brow. Okay, now we're gonna go with some Death. I'm just gonna tap that out and hopefully avoid fallout. I can see I've gotten a little bit on here. Hopefully it stays just a little bit. I think this is doing what I wanted. It's really hard for me to tell. The mirror is a little bit farther away, so I'm not sure. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with the brush I had with the blue, and without adding anything, I'm just gonna give it a little to make sure it's blended. Okay, that's super cute. I'm gonna go back in with some of the rose shade on an itty bitty little brush, and I'm gonna bring that down this way a little bit and then go over where the other shades meet up with rose, just to re-intensify that pink a little bit. On my wet Singe Beauty E01, I'm going to put Comedy all over the blank space on my lid. Now, if you have this palette, some of the shades in here, the shimmer shades, are a bit hard pressed. And I know that can be a game changer for some people. Like, they'll just like, that's it, or a deal breaker rather. They just will not. But for me, it's not too much of a big deal, because I just take a spoolie and like scratch at it a little bit, and it's basically good as new. So I just take a spoolie and literally just on the side of the spoolie. I'm just scratching at it a little bit. I don't know if you can see. That just, like, it roughs it up a little bit and you're able to pick up more on the brush. So I'm gonna spray this again though, because I really want to avoid fallout, if at all possible. I love this shade. There's a similar shade to this one in the Odin's Eye and Betty Jean palette that they did together. And I really like that one as well. Look at that. All right, just going to take the blue brush that I had and I'm just gonna boop over the edge. I'm not adding anything to it, just running it along where those two shadows meet. Going back in with the pink one and just running that along the edge of Comedy. I really want this to be nicely blended and a little softer because it is kind of, you know, dark and wabam. All right, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Let me go off camera. I'm going to do the other eye, clean up any fallout if there was any, and then I'll come back, show you the final look, and we can wrap this up. All right, I'm back and this is the finished look. Let me scoot you in for an up close reconnoiter at the eyes. So this is at the very least my fourth look with the Nomad Verona Love and Death palette. I really like the look. I like that these are the colors that Jackson picked out. In true Nomad fashion, the mattes are lovely and blendable and buildable and absolutely gorgeous. I really like the shimmer shade. There were a couple in this palette that were easy to use, and then there were a few that need a little bit of a scratching before you can use them, but I think it's worth it because the color story per usual with Nomad is just absolutely gorgeous. Let me give you one last look at it because, man, I just genuinely really like this palette so much. I like all of my Nomad palettes. In fact, I'm gonna do a video right after this one about all of my Nomad palettes, what I know about Nomad, the whole thing. So if that's something that strikes your fancy, you should definitely come back for that. If you're wondering what else is on my face, I'll tell you real quick before we wrap the video. My foundation is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte in 101.5. It's a tiny bit too dark for me right now, but with a little finishing powder, I think we did okay. My bronzer is the Kaleidos Symphony Trio in medium. So good. I don't really mix up my face stuff too much. There's like a handful of things that I grab for on the reg. My blush is the Blend Bunny Juicy Cheeks palette, and I bopped into both Pulp and Raw, and that is what is on my cheekers and my nose for blush. My highlight is, unsurprisingly, Blend Bunny Noctilucent palette, and I'm wearing the shade Phenomena, which, you know, does that little shifty pink thing. My finishing / buffing powder is the Maybelline Fit Me in 122. My concealer is the Wet n Wild Incognito. Setting powder was the Too Faced Born This Way translucent setting powder, just using that up. My lip liner is the Juvia's Place in Cola. And then I went in with a little bit of this liquid lipstick from Unearthly in the shade Smooch. And then this pink liquid lipstick from L'Oreal. I'm sure it has a name. I cannot imagine I'd be able to read it. Nope. So that's my lip combination, and that is everything. I'm going to wrap this video up here. Happy Valentine's Day to you if you're excited for it. And again, if you're not, that's okay. I hope you're having a fabulous Wednesday and continue to have a fabulous Wednesday. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Be good and remember to be kind to you.